Have you ever reached a point where you no longer hope? Not because something tragic just happened, but because nothing changes. Where every day feels like a quiet surrender, where you say, it's fine, but you've already decided it's not going to get better. This is not sadness, this is not fear, this is the death of expectation. If you stopped believing that healing is possible, if you're still breathing but no longer reaching, then this flower was made for you. Hi, I'm Michelle, I'm a Bach Flower practitioner and herbalist, and this is the Stoic Herbalist channel. A place where we talk about emotional healing, vibrational medicine, and remembering who you really are. In this video, we'll dive deep into Bach Flower Remedy Gorse. What it's for, how it works, who it helps, and what kind of spiritual shift it unlocks. Let's begin. Gorse is for those who have quietly given up, not with dramatic collapse or despair, but in that deep kind of passive way. You're not expecting anything anymore. You've resigned. It's for the person who says, I've tried everything, or there's no point, or this is just how things are now. Even if they're still seeing doctors, still taking medications, still pretending, a part of them has already written the ending of the story. Gorse is for the soul that has lost its horizon. Gorse reignites the inner light, not with fireworks, but like embers that begin to glow again under ashes. It doesn't create blind optimism, it creates renewed possibility. The quiet shift where you say, maybe I'll try again. It softens the rigid belief that things cannot change and makes space again for hope. Not fantasy or denial, but real grounded sacred hope. Gorse carries the archetype of the pilgrim in the dark night of the soul. This is the one who has walked for miles with blistered feet and no direction. The map is torn, the sky is starless, the path invisible, and they have two choices: stop walking or walk with faith alone. Gorse enters when you've almost chosen to stop and says, there is a path, even if you can't see it right now. Good pairings with Gorse. Gentian, when discouragement is more temporary and you still want to try but setbacks just hit so hard. Sweet chestnut, when despair becomes unbearable and you are on the edge of a breakdown. Wild rose, when resignation becomes apathy and there's not really enough energy to even feel disappointed anymore. Mustard, for the deep fog that descends for no reason, when light disappears from the soul, that depressed feeling that just comes and goes as it pleases. Hornbeam, if there is mental fatigue that makes you doubt your ability to even begin. Olive, when your exhaustion is physical and you've lost the energy to even care. Gorse often pairs well with any remedy that supports emotional resilience and the rekindling of movement and will. At the emotional level, Gorse works on resignation and hopelessness. These are not dramatic emotions, they are dry emotions, where the tears don't even come anymore. You might not feel depressed per se, you might feel numb. You've accepted your fate, or at least you think you have. But underneath, the soul still longs for resurrection. Gorse whispers to that part of you. It's the part you buried, and it says, it's not over. At the transformational level, Gorse rebuilds the bridge between belief and action. It doesn't just make you feel better, it allows you to move forward again, not with perfection, but with permission, to try, to fail, and to begin again. It brings in the energy of gentle courage, not like a roaring lion, but the seed that cracks through hard soil and decides to grow anyway. Gorse helps you reclaim authorship over your story, even if you only have one line to write today. Spiritually, Gorse is a reminder of faith, not religious faith, not borrowed belief, but that mysterious knowing that life still holds a deeper current, even when the surface seems still. Gorse reminds you that the soul is not bound by circumstance, that miracles don't always arrive with trumpets. Sometimes they arrive as a shift inside the heart, from there's no point to I don't know what will happen, but I will try. And from that, everything changes. There are two reasons why this particular soul state, the Gorse state, is so dangerous. First, because the passive waiting attitude continually reinforces the disease pattern in the etheric energy field. This imprint grows stronger, begins to sink deeper, and eventually crystallizes in the physical body. The longer the hopelessness lingers, the more rooted the illness becomes. And second, perhaps even more troubling, is that the personality begins to withdraw. It drifts further and further from the higher self, from the soul's own unfolding journey. The light of that journey grows dim and the person becomes like a living corpse, functioning, but not really with much life aside. You sometimes see it in children who never go outside anymore. Their faces are pale and waxy. They have dark rings under their eyes, as if sunlight hasn't kissed them in months. As if life is happening behind glass. And that's exactly what it forms, a thick, invisible wall between the personality and the soul. They may still see one another, but they can no longer hear each other. At the root of this despair lies a spiritual error, a refusal to accept the guiding role of the higher self. The personality, overwhelmed by suffering, says, "This wasn't supposed to happen. I didn't choose this. I'm done." And with that, it steps out. It gives up without ever asking what it all means. That's the tragedy of Gorse. It's not just sadness or loss, it's a surrender of meaning. The childlike hope that some miracle will come lingers in the background, not as a fate, but as a fantasy. A passive, silent wish that the universe will fix it all, without any real engagement of the self. And yet true healing, real soul-level healing, can never come from the outside. It must rise from within. Those in the Gorse state must learn to think differently, to stop asking why me and begin asking, what can this teach me? To see their illness, their heartbreak, even their loss as a part of a sacred process. Not because it's fair, not because it's easy, but because the soul has chosen this path to awaken. From an esoteric perspective, these souls are often carrying very heavy karma. Burdens that must be burned through in this lifetime through trial, humility, and surrender. And yes, through pain, because the great changes on this earthly plane almost always come through suffering. And yet, the moment the soul begins to grasp this, the moment it can see the higher order within the chaos, something shifts. Suddenly, the hopelessness breaks like a stormy cloud. A quiet strength emerges from within, the will to participate in life, even if life still hurts. This doesn't mean delusion. The amputated leg will never grow back. The lost child may not return. The diagnosis may still be terminal. But there is peace, there is trust, there is a knowing that all is unfolding as it must. That even this moment, dark as it is part of something whole. This is the gift of Gorse. It teaches us to suffer without bitterness, to cry without giving up, to grieve and still choose to believe. To let our soul whisper again, it's not over. If you're here and it resonates, you are not broken. You have simply been surviving. And you are allowed to want more. Gorse is not just for despair. It's for the moment, just before the light returns. And you need a sign, a hand, a whisper that says, hope again. If any of this speaks to you, grab the moment, either through my free beginner's guide or free soul quiz, through my free class and gifts, or through enrolling in my course and starting your own journey, your own inner journey to a more calm and fulfilled life. If you need my help in a one-on-one consultation, I'm there for you. All my links are in the description. I loved making this video. Don't stay in the dark. I will always be here to shine a light on you. See you in the next video.